Okay, so I just got out of my session with Laura and we covered some really heavy ground. Um, I have a tendency to people please because if I feel like I'm in control of how the other person feels, that I'm safe. Because I was brought up in an environment where I was taught that I'm responsible for how other people feel and react to me. So if someone gets angry or upset, it has to be my fault somehow. So it's my responsibility to keep people happy. And no, it's not. And like consciously, I know that, but I don't think my subconscious has figured it out yet. But when people get angry, it can trigger me. And I didn't understand that my reaction to that was that I'm triggered. But I talked to Laura about it, and she said that is exactly when you do the coping skills. That is when you do your breathing. Because no matter what else is out of control, your breathing is in your control. And that applies to you too, if you're struggling to cope. Sorry, my throat's dry, so my voice is croaking. I hate it. I'm gonna get a drink. Hold on one sec. Okay. Um, so it's like I've got the coping skills like the woodwork, the framework laid down. Now it's just a matter of implementing them at the right time. Because like, maybe 5 out of 10 times I'll realize this is when I need to do it and I'll do it. I've run the practice drills, tell myself, okay, I'm triggered right now. What can I do? Let's pretend that I have to do it right now. And I'll run through my skill set that I've got. But, not realizing where I need to implement it, that's just one of the things I have to work on. But, in a situation like where something's happened with something and my mom's really mad about it, I cannot step in and try to fix it for her because I can't fix it for her. I have to just let her blow her steam off, step back, breathe, and calm down. And if she comes to me ranting, I just let her rant, but I breathe and I keep myself calm because her dysregulation dysregulates me. So I can't depend on her to regulate me. Excuse me. I can't depend on her to regulate me. I have to regulate myself with my breathing. I have to tell my inner child that she's safe. I have to keep trauma from rampaging. But these kind of situations are ones where you don't see like the dead fish in the bubbling water. It's just boom, there he is. And he's out and he's mad and he's rampaging. So, I have to immediately fly into soothing mode. But my desire to control situations comes from the fact that I grew up being blamed for things I couldn't control. And when I lose control of a situation, even now at 44 years old, I feel like I'm going to get in trouble. And I feel an intense feeling of shame. And that's not my shame to carry. Okay, that belongs to, you know, the people who trained me to feel that shame. So mostly my dad, but some of it my mom too. Because, when you grow up where only results matter and effort is meaningless, um, it didn't matter if the failure of whatever was not your fault, it would still be treated as if it was my fault. So I have to work on that. I have to work on not carrying shame that isn't mine. And that's going to be hard work. Part of trauma recovery is making different choices than what your trauma brain wants you to do. And that can be so hard in the moment. But one thing Laura points out every time is that I am still doing the work, and doing the work is really important because a lot of people don't even want to try. They think it's too ridiculous or whatever, and I'm just running off and trying all these things and seeing what works and modifying them for me if I need to. Sorry, I keep coughing because my throat is dry. Like it's literally feels like my vocal cords are dry. So every time I try to talk, they kind of go ugh. So, but you know, she told me a story that really resonated and made me really emotional. Is that there was this dad who told both of his children to come with him into the kitchen. And he got a pot of water and he boiled it. And when the water was boiling, he took a carrot. Now, a raw carrot is hard and strong. You know, it's really hard to bite into it, right? So he took that carrot and he put it into the water. What happens to a carrot when you boil it? It gets soft. And then he took an egg and he put it in the water. And what happens when you boil an egg? Hard boiled egg. Hard on the inside and the hard shell on the outside. And then he took a coffee bean and he put it in the water. And that coffee bean turned into coffee. So, what's the moral of the story? It's that strength is about, resilience. It's not about, oh, I can lift the heaviest thing. It's about resilience. That water turned the carrot soft. It turned the egg hard. And it turned the coffee bean into something better than it was, coffee. And so when we're doing the work of dealing with trauma, we're turning it into coffee in that boiling water, in that boiling, oppressive, scary, unsafe environment. We are transforming into something better. So you don't want to be a carrot and you don't want to be an egg. Be a coffee bean in that stressful situation and just try to be better. Not better than whoever's around you, but maybe better than you were yesterday. And if you're not, it's okay because you just keep trying. Because, when you're dealing with trauma, you are going to fail, you are going to mess up, you're going to get triggered, you're going to feel like crap, and it sucks. Recovering and fighting trauma sucks. It's always going to be sucky. But as you get stronger and as you get better with your coping skills, you start to catch more of those moments and you start to make different choices. And then as you do it more and more, you start broadening. You start transforming. You're not just a little bean being tossed around by that boiling water. You are transforming so that you can move with it. You are becoming something better. And when she told me that story, I got super emotional because I feel like I'm kind of swinging to extreme, really good or really bad, and she's like, "No, you're swinging, but the point is that you're swinging and not just staying in one place." So, yeah, that was hard work. I'm actually tired after this session because it was very emotionally charged, but in a good way. I needed it. So, yeah. If you're ever in boiling water, be a coffee bean. Love you. And I have Godzilla with me.